The bar sat on the edge of nowhere. Outpost K-17 was a forgotten trading station orbiting a dim red star, frequented by smugglers, drifters, mercenaries, and species too insignificant for official attention. The kind of place where rules were loose, credit spoke loudly, and survival depended on knowing when to walk away. The bar was cold last light, and behind the counter stood a human woman named Mara Vance. To most, she looked unremarkable. Mid-30s, dark hair pulled back, a scar across one eyebrow that most assumed came from a bar fight or industrial accident. She poured drinks efficiently, listened more than she spoke, and never reacted when tempers flared. Regulars knew 3 rules about Last Light. Don't draw weapons. Pay your tab. Don't touch the bartender. No one ever explained the 3rd rule. They didn't need to. The alien soldier arrived late into the station's artificial night. He was Vakesh, one of the Dominion's elite shock troops. 8 feet tall, plated muscle beneath ceremonial armor, for eyes glowing faintly with aggression-enhancing implants. His species had evolved on a high-gravity world where dominance determined survival. Off duty, he was still dangerous. Drunk, he was worse. Vakesh shoved through the bar's entrance, metal boots denting the floor. Conversations quieted. Patrons leaned away instinctively. He laughed, low and cruel, scanning the room like prey. This is a human establishment, he sneered in broken trade common. Pathetic. Mara glanced up briefly, clocked his posture, his balance, the way his right hand twitched near concealed weapon. She went back to wiping a glass. Drinks are paid in advance, she said calmly. That was mistake number 1. Vakesh approached the bar, looming over her. You will serve me, he growled, and you will do it politely. Mara finally looked up, meeting all 4 of his eyes without flinching. Credit, she repeated. I'll leave. The bar went silent. Vakesh blinked, then laughed louder. You think station rules protect you. He slammed a clawed hand onto the counter, splintering reinforced synthwood. Mara sighed. That was mistake number 2. What Vakesh didn't know, what no one on the station knew, was that Mara Vance had once been designated Omega-class combat asset by the United Human Defense Forces. She had served 32 years across 5 interstellar wars. She had led boarding actions against species that hunted by scent and fought without fear. She had survived atmospheric drops onto death worlds, hand-to-hand combat in zero gravity, and sieges that erased entire fleets from history. She had retired because the war ended, not because she was tired. Vakesh reached across the bar. That was mistake number 3. Mara moved. To the untrained eye, it looked like she simply stepped aside. In reality, she shifted her center of gravity, twisted his wrist at a joint his species never reinforced, and used his own forward momentum to slam his arm into the counter at precisely the angle that shattered bone plates without breaking skin. Vakesh roared. Before the sound fully left his throat, Mara drove 2 fingers into a nerve cluster beneath his lower jaw. His legs buckled. She caught him. Then she slammed his head into the bar. Once. Twice. The 3rd time cracked the counter completely. The bar erupted into chaos. Chairs scraped. Patrons backed away. Some fled. Others stayed in stunned silence. Mara didn't raise her voice. She dragged the stunned soldier around the bar with terrifying efficiency, kicked his legs out from under him, and pinned him face down on the floor. Only then did she speak louder. Does anyone here want to make this worse? No one moved. Vakesh tried to rise. Mara placed a knee on his spine. Not enough to kill him, just enough to remind him that his nervous system was not in charge anymore. You picked the wrong bar, she said quietly. You attacked the wrong human. Vakesh hissed through broken teeth. You're nothing. A civilian. Mara leaned down so he could hear her clearly. I stopped being a civilian when your empire was still figuring out fire control. She reached into his armor and removed his sidearm with practiced ease. Then she unloaded it. Slowly, each round hit the floor with a metallic click that echoed through the room. Station security arrived 6 minutes later. They found an elite Dominion soldier restrained, disarmed, and sobering rapidly under the weight of humiliation and pain. They found a destroyed bar counter, and they found Mara calmly pouring herself a drink. The security chief, a reptilian veteran himself, looked at the scene, then at her. "Do you want to press charges?" he asked carefully. Mara shook her head. "No." She nodded at Varkesh. "Just ban him from the station." The chief swallowed. Understood. As they dragged the soldier away, Varkesh finally understood. This human hadn't fought him with rage. She had fought him with restraint. That terrified him more than anything else. Word spread fast, faster than hyperspace. Within days, Dominion forces quietly issued an internal advisory: avoid confrontation with off-duty humans, especially veterans. Other species took notice. Stories circulated of human civilians who dismantled pirates, mercenaries, even trained soldiers without weapons or armor. Of humans who smiled, laughed, or sighed before ending fights that should have killed them. Scholars updated threat assessments. Humans weren't dangerous because of their militaries. They were dangerous because they carried war inside them. Weeks later, a young trader asked Mara, "Why stay here? After everything you've done." Mara cleaned a glass, eyes distant. "Because," she said, "this is what peace looks like." She glanced at the repaired counter. "And because sometimes the galaxy needs to be reminded." Her gaze hardened slightly. That humans don't stop being dangerous just because they stop wearing uniforms. The lights of Last Light flickered softly as the bar filled again, and no one ever broke the third rule.